I have the DJI Pocket 3 and the Insta360 X5. In this video, I'm going to do a comparison of the image quality, the audio quality, share some of the unique features, and my personal experience using both of them. These are both great cameras, but they are very different. It's kind of comparing apples to oranges, but hopefully by the end of this video, you have a better idea if you want to buy an apple or if you want to buy an orange. My affiliate link for both of these cameras is down in the description. If you decide to purchase either one of them, I'd appreciate it if you use it. It helps support the channel. Thanks. I use the Pocket 3 all the time, so I'm really familiar with its strengths and its weaknesses. The Pocket 3 is really meant to be a vlogging camera. It is really good at that. It has a big 1-inch sensor. It has a nice, good depth of field, and the mechanical gimbal gives you really smooth footage when you're walking and talking. Great for, urban environments, indoors, situations like that. Now the X5 is a totally different animal. This is a 360-degree camera, so it has a lens here and a lens here, and it's catching what's happening 360 degrees around you. And this is built like an action camera. It has a sensor that is 1/1.28, I believe, so I think that's roughly 3/4 of an inch, but what it lacks in sensor size, it does make up for in computing power. It has 2 pro imaging chips and an AI chip, so it has good image quality also, but doesn't have that depth of field that you're going to get out of the Pocket 3. The major thing you want to consider when you're deciding which one's right for you is how you plan on using it. Like I said, this is more for vlogging. It is not, waterproof. It has the gimbal, so there's a lot of moving parts. It's not super rugged and tough. So if you're looking for something that you can just take anywhere and do anything with, you're going to have limitations with the Pocket 3. But that being said, I have a series of videos where I'm trying to hike all the peaks in Colorado over 14,000 feet, and I have been filming all of those videos with this. I'll say I am always concerned about it falling over or dropping it or something like that, because it has a few nicks and dings in it. If this thing falls over, it is highly likely that it is going to break compared to something like this, which is built like an action camera. There aren't any moving parts. They're shock and drop resistant and waterproof, so you can do a lot more with this and take it a lot more different places. The X5 has been out for a few months, so I haven't had a chance to use it as much as I've used the Pocket 3, but I did have the X4 and the X3, so I am familiar with the camera. The X4 and X3 were never my main camera because they are cool, but they just didn't have the image quality that I needed to make it my main go-to camera. So there have been major upgrades to the X5. Like I said, they did increase to the size of the sensors. There's that increase in the processing power, and so there has been a significant improvement in the image quality compared to the X3 and the X4. But I have not done a side-by-side comparison of the image quality of the X5 to the Pocket 3. My guess is that you're going to be able to see a difference in the image quality. The Pocket 3 probably going to be a little bit better, but we'll see how the other footage comes out. But the X5 is not going to be bad, and the benefits that you get from the X5 might be worth not having the same level of image quality. Also going to test out the audio quality. It is windy this morning, of course. I come out here and then I sit down. This wind is really kicking up. We'll see how good the audio quality is in the wind, using the internal mics and the external mics, and I'll talk about some of the unique features that may help you decide which one is right for you. Let's get this comparison started. Right now I'm using the internal microphones in each of the cameras. I have them both set to wind reduction on because it is windy this morning, so you can see how they compare. I can tell you that I have tested out the X5 and its internal microphone works really well. It has the wind reduction mode, but in addition to the wind reduction mode, there's a screen mesh on one of the microphones that acts as a wind barrier, so it does very well. The Pocket 3 on the other hand, I'm curious to see how well the sound quality is going to be on this hike, because generally I use the DJI Mic 2 or the DJI Mic Mini that has the wind muff on it when I am doing any recording outside, and that sounds good. I'm not sure how it's going to sound right now because it doesn't have that mesh barrier that the X5 has. So we'll see how it does, and we'll also do an audio test with both cameras using the external microphones. For the Pocket 3, I brought the Mic Mini, and the Insta360 released the Mic Air. I think that came out a few months ago. That has an external microphone. I just got that, so I'm still testing it out. I was wearing it when I was recording back at that park bench, and we'll see how well that does. Both cameras have image stabilization, and they both work well, but they work in two completely different ways. The Pocket 3 has the gimbal, so it moves freely, but like I said, that's a moving part, which leaves it susceptible to breaking or being damaged, as opposed to the X5 that has electronic image stabilization that's used in all the action cameras like the GoPro or the Osmo Action or any of the other ones. Both cameras are set to auto, but with the X5 I generally like to lower the exposure value to a negative 0.7. They weren't lying when they named this place Windy Point, but the whole point is to get some real world testing of these cameras. So I decided to switch to the external mic for the Pocket 3. This is the Mic Mini with the wind guard there, and we'll see. Hopefully this audio isn't too bad, but I thought this point is a perfect place to show you one of the cool features you can do with the X5 that you can't do with the Pocket 3. This might look like a typical selfie stick, but actually it's a bullet time selfie stick. You pull on it, the selfie stick actually bends so you can do a mode called bullet time. Oh, the wind is really picking up here, so I'm gonna do the shot. I'm not sure how that's going to come out. That wind was ridiculous. I tried to stand up on that rock. That wind was blowing. I had to get down. I was like, getting blown off a cliff would be a stupid way to die. So I'm not sure if the bullet time came out. We'll just have to see. We'll go ahead and test out some more features here. Both cameras have the ability to track you, but they also do that in different ways because of how they're built. The Pocket 3 will track you using the gimbal. The X5, since it's 360 degrees, is always recording everything around you. So you actually record yourself, and then you go in the app or using the desktop, and you can set it to automatically track you as you move. So we're going to test that out next so you can see the difference. Now I'll show you the tracking. They both can do it, but like I said, in different ways. The Pocket 3 is locked on me here with this AI tracking. The X5 is also going to track me, but I'm going to do that in post. So we'll see how they do. And it looks like, yep, the Pocket 3 has me. And I'm going to walk on by here and we'll see how it does. And that worked. I'm back in my office. I want to show you how to do that tracking movement using the Insta360 desktop app. On this channel, I make outdoor content, overlanding, camping, hiking, and videos about the gear that I use to make those videos. If that's interesting to you, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks. I'm in the Insta360 desktop app. This is the clip that we want to add the tracking movement onto. Here I am. If we go down here to these commands, we have add keyframe, but we want deep track. You open that up, you select the object you want to track, which is me, and then say start tracking. And it is tracking me as I am walking by the camera. Stop tracking. It's created the clip. Now I'll show you the end result. Let's see how it does. I've switched to the external mic for the X5 so we can see how that performs as well, and I'll share some of the benefits of the X5 that you can't get with the Pocket 3. And It has to do with the fact that the Pocket 3 just isn't an action camera. So the Pocket 3, I wouldn't take it to the beach, I wouldn't take it to the pool, I wouldn't do anything like that. And you don't have to worry about that with the X5. You know, the previous X series, they have those lenses that are open, susceptible to scratching. That's been taken care of. You can now replace them if you need to, and has more durable glass. So those are issues that you just don't have anymore when you're looking, comparing the X5 to the Pocket 3. So now I feel comfortable taking the X5 any place I would take a GoPro. And since the X5 is recording 360 degrees all the time, and when you have it in that mode, it gives you just a ton of flexibility. Now, with the Pocket 3, you can easily switch between horizontal and vertical video by flipping the screen, which is a cool feature. But with the X5, you can do whatever aspect ratio you want at any time, all within the app. Horizontal, vertical, square, all that can be done. You're not stuck on a particular setting. So, like I say, let's say you're recording with the Pocket 3 and you're like, man, I wish I could have got that in vertical, and you can try to go in and edit it and, you know, force it to fit a vertical, but it's going to crop things weird, and but you don't have to worry about that with the X5. If you decide, man, I want to turn this into a short, you know, do it. I want it to be long form format, do it. It just gives you so much flexibility. And the Insta360 app has a lot of creative features in it. You can do all kind of cool cuts and effects, and if you're looking to be like really creative, do a lot of interesting shots, and want to play around with all that, then the X5 is definitely for you. But there is a drawback to that, is that there is a learning curve to editing, to learning all the features. When I'm looking for a quality camera, the top 3 things that I'm looking for is image quality, audio quality, and a close third is battery life. And both cameras have a good amount of battery life. I've been recording basically the equal amount of time with them, and let's see here. The battery life on the X5 is at 71% left. On the Pocket 3, 66%, and I would say that's about right. I've had the Pocket 3 when it came out, maybe over a year ago, so the battery's been through some work as compared to the X5, but I would say overall they're about the same. And, you know, battery life oftentimes depends on what settings that you pick, you know, what resolution, you know, how bright the screen is, to use all the other features. So I would put them at about equal. I've talked a lot about the standard 360 video mode on the X5, but there are a lot of other modes that are available. I tried to show the bullet time. I might give that another shot where I think I actually got a good one. You know, there's a time-lapse mode, all those standard modes, and a couple of special modes that are unique to the camera. And you don't even have to record in 360 if you don't want to. There's a single lens mode that you could use if you don't need to record with both cameras. Let's say you have it strapped to your chest as you're riding a bike. You don't need to have 360 mode because one camera is going to be pointed at your chest, have the other one pointed out. So there's a lot of options. You can also take 360 photos, and maybe I'll demonstrate that right here. And on the Pocket 3, there's a few special photo modes. Since it has a gimbal, it can shoot a really good panoramic. You don't have to do that thing if you have the iPhone where you kind of have to slowly pan across and keep the line in place. With the gimbal, it can take some good panoramic photos. So we'll see if we can actually test those out here. This is a good spot for that. When I was out there, I took a 360 photo, and I'll show you in the Insta360 desktop app what you can do with that. Here I am. We have the photo. I just drag with my mouse. You can see everything that was happening around, even look up at the sky, down on the ground. And you can do some really cool things with it. If you go over here to the option, it says switch field of view. We have crystal ball. If you click on that, you can turn the photo like you're looking into a crystal ball, which is kind of cool. Let's see what else we have here. You can turn it into a tiny planet photo. If you don't want to do anything that different, you can just go to the typical mega view. Or if you want to take away that warp, go to de-warp, and now you have a photo that's nice that you can adjust and range how you want. That gets back to what I was talking about throughout the video as far as flexibility. You can take the photo, then you can change it around however you want. You can also, let me see here, you can change the aspect ratio, go 9:16 here. If you're looking for something to post on Instagram, you can go square. So you can change it however you want later. You can do this on the desktop app, or you can do it on your phone and actually have more options on your phone than you actually have on the desktop app itself. I have the Pocket 3 set up here. I have it in panoramic mode, and we'll have it take a photo and see how it does. It's a little windy, so hopefully that doesn't mess up the quality of the photo, but let's give it a shot here. And we'll see how that comes out. The wind has died down, so I'm gonna give this bullet time effect another shot. Spin it over your head, and it gives you the bullet time effect. I'll show it to you. It's easier to see than to explain. That should have came out a lot better. The wind wasn't crazy, so I know the audio is good. I wasn't worried about falling to my death. I got some good rotations, so hopefully that's a lot better. Another cool thing that the X5 can do is change the sky from this to this. One of my biggest complaints with the Pocket 3 is it has a pretty narrow field of view. You can purchase a lens adapter that widens it, but that's just one more thing you have to buy, one more thing you have to keep track of. So I wish it had a wider field of view. That's not a problem with the X5. You can make the field of view whatever you want it to be. So that's also something to consider as far as some of the restrictions that you have with the Pocket 3. So the big takeaway when you're comparing the two is, I would say, flexibility compared to familiarity and ease. The X5, a ton of flexibility, a ton of options, takes some work. The Pocket 3 is very familiar, has the standard modes, easy, but then you have these restrictions. Next, we're gonna see how both of these cameras do in low light. And I honestly have no idea how they're going to compare. So I'm really interested to see how they do. We have the 1-inch sensor on the Pocket 3. It has a low light mode. We'll see how that does. And then we have the X5, smaller sensor, but the computing power of a special mode they call Pure Video. Let's see how they do. Right now, I guess it's about dusk. There's a few areas in my local downtown where there's some sculpture with some lights, a regular go-to spot to check out the low light performance of cameras. So I'm gonna go around and take some of these shots. We'll see how each camera performs. The Pocket 3 has a low light mode, and the X5 actually has a mode called Pure Video. If you have it in ordinary video mode, it can sense that you're in a low light environment and it asks you, do you want to switch to Pure Video? You click yes, and that's when you're going to get your best low light performance out of the X5. One thing I'm going to keep an eye out for when I look over this footage, if there's any kind of blurs and jitter, especially with the X5 with electronic image stabilization. That is one of the downsides, but the Pure Video mode does a good job of getting rid of a lot of it, and I probably don't think it'd have the issue with the Pocket 3 because of the gimbal. The X5 has a mode called Pure Video, and it uses the 2 Pro Imaging chips and the AI chip to bring up the brightness and control the noise to give you a better quality image. You don't have to mess around with any settings. It does everything automatically. We've checked out both cameras in a variety of situations. You've been able to see the image quality, the sound quality, special features. So hopefully we have a better idea which one is right for you. If you want to learn more about the Insta360 X5, check out this video.